We are live, sir. We are live.
Right. Well, good
Okay,
morning.
yeah, so how was your weekend?
It was great. I had a great weekend.
Oh, yeah, what'd you do?
Mostly work.
I actually had a conversation about that yesterday.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with another friend of mine who's also an entrepreneur, spent, God knows, fifteen years as in corporate finance,
Yeah.
hated every minute of it, left, and now is starting up a distillery. So I'm going giving a shout out to Alex. Oh, by the way, I thought we should be doing if we mention something in the episode, then I'll
Yeah.
just write it down in captions, just bullet points.
Sure. Yeah, and we can put links in the bottom and stuff.
Yes, affiliate links. Let's make this work. So yeah, so
That's right.
so I had a conversation with him yesterday, and he rightfully pointed out that you can't just spend all of your time working.
Yeah.
It's not healthy, and it's more stressful than it has to be. He has a point.
Yeah. It's funny though because, and I don't know if you feel like this, but most of the time it doesn't feel like work.
No, it doesn't. Uh, Actually, interesting. So I said the same thing to him. I said, you know what? If I quote unquote unplug in the evening, I keep thinking about things I want to do, not the things I need to do, but the things I want to do, and
Yeah.
it was an interesting discussion. He has a point.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
hold on, but so this is the scripted part of this episode. How long have we been doing this? Since November 27.
end of November. Yeah. Something like that. 22nd.
Yeah, so it's roughly just over 90 days, right? Almost coming up on 100 days.
Yeah.
So Greg and I found ourselves out of work and decided that we're going to take matters into our own hands and decided to start two companies. He, man, I know what you've been doing on the weekend. That fancy background of yours with Team UYP logo. God damn it, you bugger. I have a beer bottle with my face on it.
Yeah. That's
Beat
great.
that. Anyway, so yeah, I am SoloBusiness.ca. Greg started a company called Team UYP. I also realized that the screen just captured that morning powwow pop-ups. And last Friday, we had a thought, which was genius if you think about it, to
You're
record
only
these
saying that
sessions.
because it was your thought, but go ahead, go on.
Why? Yes, it was my thought. But let's face it. Most of the good ideas come from me. You just
That's
absorb
true.
them and make them happen. Yeah. So we were 90. Let's call it 100. Even 100. We are 100 days into our journeys as entrepreneurs. I've done this before. Greg has done this before in other ventures, but here we are trying to become millionaires essentially. And it's not an easy journey. Go ahead, Greg. Add your 2 cents.
Yeah. I mean, millionaire part would be nice, but truthfully, I'm just trying to find fulfillment and enjoyment in my everyday work. So I think I've got the realization after 25 years working that all the politics and bullshit at the office is just not for me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So what were you up to on the weekend?
Well, first Friday night, I was looking at on my 88 and 88 page. I've
Yeah.
got a button that says "Tell a friend." So the ideal solution would be you click that button and it opens your email with a pre-populated email for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, previously I couldn't figure out how to make that work, so I just had it opening up a PDF, and people would have to copy and paste. Anyway, for whatever reason, I was looking around on things and I found some HTML code. So now I figured out how to actually create. So when you click that call to action button, it opens your email with a totally pre-populated email
Yeah, like
with,
mail to.
yeah, well, mail too, but then just how you do all the
Oh, you mean
formatting.
like already the message there?
Yeah, the subject, the message. I mean, it's really easy. Like a space is percentage 20, I think, and next line is percentage A0 or 0A, something like that. Anyway,
But
so I built a template in Excel too. So when you type out your text, then you can just add all those characters because it all has to be one big long string. Anyway, so I created my 5 or 6, whatever it was, HTML scripts and pasted them in there. And bam, it works awesome.
Hold on, but doesn't Contagious support the ability of, because I know with Thrive themes I can have a button and then attach a certain autoresponder to it and within it create the default message that goes out. I'm sure you can do that.
Yeah, well, you can create an email from yourself automatically.
Right, you're creating an email from the person
creating
clicking
an email
the button.
that the other person puts their name in as the from person and puts their contact in as the to person. So all I wanted to populate with is the subject and the body of the text.
Right.
So anyway, that was my big eureka moment on Friday. It was, simple but effective.
Well done.
And then and I just was working on getting my webinar or / masterclass all figured out. So it's funny because in Kajabi, the thing about Kajabi is they've got all the functionality there, but there's like chicken and egg scenarios where like I have to create an event in order to create a form to capture people's registration. But then, so I create all the events first, then I go and create the form. Now I can capture them, but now I have to go back into each event and add all the email sequences, but I've already cloned them all, so now I have to do it one at a time. But I couldn't do that first because I had to get the links for the, you know what I mean? Like there's steps that happen. It's not as smooth a flow as you would like. And it's funny because I was talking to my wife about it, just reminded me of a lot of the product stuff that we go through in the good old days at Pressima too, where it's, the UI UX thing is like, it isn't as user friendly or frictionless as you'd want it to be.
Right.
Like if it was frictionless, I could just basically fill out one form or something with all the information I want, and then the computer would figure out how to populate all the appropriate spots.
Interesting.
Like there's still too much human intervention, and I mean, what speaks to this as a UI UX opportunity for Kajabi is the fact that there's umpteen YouTube videos by various Kajabi people dating back many years on how to do this, what steps to take. In the Facebook group that I'm on, there's all kinds of questions about things that aren't intuitive or don't really make sense. So, I mean, on the bright side, there's lots of opportunity. But again, I mean, having been in product management, I know too, like that's why there's version 1 and version 2 and version 3 and so on, because you can't deliver everything.
Yeah, but you know what? The bigger the platform gets, the harder it is to create that master UI that caters to everyone. Yeah. Because even you were talking that Kajabi has onboarding series.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people just skip it altogether and then wonder why can they not get going.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because I thought in this Facebook group, at least when I signed up, you had to be a member of Kajabi to be in this group. But then I've seen people posting saying, hey, I'm thinking of joining Kajabi. And I'm like, how the hell did you get in this group if you're not even in Kajabi yet?
Yeah. Speaking of like pre-populated stuff, yesterday, like it always happens. So yesterday night when I was thinking, I should just go to bed, started reading. Active Campaign actually has a very effective, very interesting blog, and they have a bunch of lead magnets. I mean, I don't know why I need a lead magnet because I'm already signed up, but I downloaded a couple of things about what's a good welcome series. Remember Miguel was talking about AIDA model?
Yeah.
That's essentially what a good welcome series should be. You create awareness, sort of kind of welcome, then it's generating interest, and then there's desire, probably 2 emails of, and then you ask for, what's the last one? Action?
I guess so, yeah, I don't remember.
Something like that. And they had a good long article about why that works, and it actually makes a lot of sense. And I haven't seen that before. Previously I was encountering the fact, you need a welcome series. Okay, what the hell does that mean? Take a bunch of PLR articles, stuff it in there. Oh man, And I also discovered, and then led me to another blog post of theirs about lead magnets. And I also discovered that what I've been considering a good lead magnet is actually garbage, because a lead magnet, again, according to Active Campaign, which I respect, is something that digestible, short, and let's call it actionable. In other words, you can do it right now. So
Yeah.
I've been posting sort of short versions of ebooks. Well, you've seen what I've done. So it's like
Yeah.
17 pages. That's a bad lead magnet.
Yeah. It's
Nobody
too
really
much.
cares. Nobody really cares about digesting 17. It has to be focused and it has to answer a specific purpose. Done.
Right.
So I need to rework all of that. I've already killed the 21 internet marketing hacks.
Okay.
I've replaced it with the start your practice checklist, because now a checklist is a good lead magnet.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you make any money on Koji?
I haven't checked. I'm sure I have not. One super tool, right?
Yeah.
Did you see my
Awesome.
video?
I did. Of course I did.
It's
How many
pretty
Red Bull
powerful.
did you
The
have for
only
the
the only problem I find with sorry, it's not a problem. The only thing that I haven't figured out is you really need a good image. The image that I thought that I was making
yeah,
did not.
translate well in that format?
Yeah, like the text was cut off. It wasn't clear where the call to action was, so it needs to be better. But I couldn't find, because Koji is a platform for developers. It's not a mass. It's not essentially for users. All of those
Yeah.
templates, somebody developed them. That's why they're remixes when you use them.
Right.
But I
And
couldn't find
when you go to pay for a Koji, do you have to pay on your Koji account, or you pay with your credit card?
both.
Okay.
It's like PayPal. You can have a Koji account. You can include card. I think it's through Stripe.
Okay.
Yeah, and but I couldn't find image dimensions that would work well for Koji. I'm also realizing that when I'm talking, I'm always looking at you, so my eyes are like. Whoop.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not professional production yet. We'll get a producer. We'll get sound
It's
people.
intended to be- It's authentic.
It's authentic indeed.
Real.
Yeah, so Koji was fantastic. Sorry, I got sidetracked. So anyway, I was reading about all of those lead magnets and whatnot. Remember Talia? That video about emotional
Yeah.
conversion rate optimization from an emotion. She's got a wonderful website and she's got fantastic blogs. I mean, everything that Neil Patel talks about, creating like
Yeah.
long form blogs that actually solve a problem. Oh my God, she's got a wealth of content, and I feel compelled to regurgitate and provide it in a simpler form to people who are just getting involved with it.
Yeah.
She pointed to a tool. I think it's also her company that creates it. It's called. No, sorry. Oh, I should be careful about switching screens because it's all being recorded. It's a plugin for Chrome that's called. You can't. I can't even share this with you. It's going to be captured on video. It's called Headline Studio.
Okay.
It's because it's a plugin for Chrome. It has the ability to analyze what you're typing as a headline from an emotional perspective. Are you using common words? Are you using action words? Is there anything? In other words, is it going to be compelling to the person reading it, or is it going to be bland like most of the headlines that I write?
Yeah.
It's fantastic, but that actually uses AI. That's NLP, natural language processing. Yeah,
Is it free?
absolutely. That's
That's all you use? Free stuff?
I try to as much as possible. But come on, man. I've been looking. I pulled together because I pulled together last month's expenses, and
Yeah.
I pull it down from the banks and whatnot, and I have a line for business, and I've seen what I'm spending, and income stream is not there yet. So,
Yeah.
I'm all about free stuff.
I feel you on that one. The other thing, speaking of free stuff, I was on a free masterclass Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today's the fourth one. Jamie Smart, NLP guy that I've been following since like 2008. So it's a course for getting your coaching business going. So it's not directly related to what I'm trying to do per se, but awesome stuff. He has a question, which is the ultimate coaching question, he calls it, which I got to start. I did think about it overnight, but I got to dive into this more. So here's the question. It says, if there were a miracle tonight as you sleep and dream, such that when you woke up tomorrow, everything was exactly how you want it to be, how would you know a miracle had taken place? What would you see? What would you hear? What would you feel? What would you believe? What would you know that would let you know a miracle has taken place? So it's basically
that's deep. That's deep.
Yeah. Like, where do you want to go? Like, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? And if you can define what you'll hear, feel, see, and believe in the end, then that helps you get there. So
that's great. Yeah. In that same conversation I was referencing to you about yesterday, we had the same chat. So Alex asked me, like, so Vadim, what do you do? And I started explaining, and I tried to do the elevator pitch, and I think I did a good enough job. But then it made me think that it's not crisp yet.
Yeah.
And it keeps morphing. But his feedback was, it says, okay, so you want to help holistic nutritionists set up their business and they don't know what they don't know, right? And I said, yeah, that's essentially, that's the problem I'm trying to solve, is how do you get a person from point zero to launching a business? And at the same time, they probably don't want to call it a business. They want to call it something else, but nevertheless.
Yeah.
And then he challenged me. He's like, okay, but why would they want that? Why would they need that? And I said, what do you mean? He says, well, if they're here and you want them to get there, you understand all of the benefits of being here. They don't. So why would they seek out your services? It's a pivot on the same question you just asked. It's how do they know that they want to get here? And that, I have to say it was uncomfortable hearing it, but I was like, I don't have an answer to that. So in other words, how do I sell to a group of people who don't know they need my services?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like if I create an analogy, it's like a real estate agent saying, like, instead of focusing on people who want to sell their house, I'm going to go focus on people and get them to, sell their house. And I suppose there's some of that goes on, but if there's a market of people who are already there in terms of they want to do this, they don't know how. Like, I think that's the niche you're going for. They've already decided they want to do this. Kind of like the thriving coaching guy I was on with. Like, he's not trying to convince people to become coaches. People have already had the thought that I want to become a coach. Mm-hmm. Now he's how do you become a successful coach? Like he's a distiller. Like he's like people who already know they want to drink beer. He's making beer for those people. He's not trying to convince them.
You speak to me. You speak well to me.
He's not looking to make people who don't drink beer become beer drinkers because he's got this amazing beer.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's true. But then,
so the question is, are there enough people that are already in that space?
In that space that they're ready for this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, did I tell you about my story? I sent the email to IHN, the school for nutritionists. So this is the bizarreness of our world. The lady who I sent the email to, I told you, like my wife Natalie worked with her for 3 years plus because we brought in co-op students from that school.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine and a former person who worked at Vibrant Lifestyle for us, she now is teaching at the school, and she's good friends with her, with the lady I sent the email to.
Yeah.
So I have 2 points of contact. So I'm not a random person. Do you think I got a response? No. But that's she actually went to my LinkedIn profile to check out who I am.
Yeah.
And I've for the life of me, it's the same thing as when you're applying for the job. This is the frustrating part. It's why don't you just say no?
Yeah.
Why don't you wait? Like, how hard is it to write an email and say thank you for a note, not interested at this moment, best of luck.
Yeah.
I don't freaking
instead of ghosting you.
Yeah,
it's you check you out. So
and then this gives rise to the ability, like when people talk about awesome customer service, it's not hard. It's just simple things that you do that makes people feel like human beings rather than I don't care enough about you to respond.
Yeah. Well, I got my response from Loblaws on that director of whatever it was, consulting services.
Yeah.
So I just got the standard rejection letter, but their rejection letter is so condescending. It's not even funny. Like they try to be like helpful, I suppose, in an HR way, but it's like, you didn't make the cut, but what we recommend is you come up with a career development plan and set goals for yourself and all this. Like, fuck you.
Oh.
Like, and the irony is the person sending this out has probably been out of school for like 2 years, right? It's like,
I don't think it's a person. It's
automated, but I'm just saying the person who
wrote
that came up with it.
Yes.
Is like, anyway.
Yeah, you know how that was written? Because they're on Workday. Workday sold into everyone. It's actually a very, very good system, and I'm sure Workday has templates. So the person sat down and was like, I got to do something with this template. Google rejection letter template. Okay, copy paste.
Yeah, it was just.
And can you imagine the thousands of people that get that?
Oh, I know.
So, like I said, hold on. We got on this client service. So the reason I was telling you about the fact that I didn't hear back. So now I need to. I'm going to be writing to CSNN. CSNN, yeah. The school that my wife went to. So just to see if they would support this. And that doesn't work out, then I'm just going to post it on social media and invite everyone to the webinar. The point I was trying to make is when I was talking to Alex, I couldn't stop thinking that maybe another pivot is in order. I haven't done anything, but I'm already pivoting like right, left, and center.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run this by you. Just tell me what you hear, what you think, and don't judge me for not finishing one thing and jumping to the next. What if there was a service that's a monthly subscription and that takes care of all of your needs? So back to the point that I'm trying to solve. You're a holistic nutritionist. You graduate with great wealth of knowledge about what food to eat and how the food affects your body, mental state, blah, blah, blah. You might not know or might not care too much about tech, business, accounting, banking, registering a company, like all of the administrative stuff that goes on. Do you need to, if you're going to be hiring people, do you need to apply for WSIB? Like all of that nonsense.
Yeah.
What if you had a monthly service that took care of most of that, including the website, the content, the pre-made posts? What's your gut reaction? Like you're hearing this for the first time.
Well, I think there's definitely a market for it. I think it's expensive, which is probably going to be the.
Does it have to be expensive?
Well,
like how much are you paying for Kajabi?
What you're saying is just that, like, you find somebody who's going to be the face of the company, but the service does all the work for them behind the scenes.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
more of a peace of mind because accounting is done. So bookkeeping is done monthly, but accounting is done on an annual basis. Yeah. There's a lot of heavy lifting in the beginning when you're setting things up, and then there's maintenance.
Yeah,
that's what I thought, because what you're essentially selling, you're selling peace of mind.
Yeah.
Your website is managed by somebody. Does your website change that often? No. You need to update content,
Yeah.
which they still have to write. I mean, you can provide the backgrounds, like the PLR materials, essentially,
Yeah.
but they need to mold it because you can never replace a person's voice.
Yeah.
But technology-wise, it's taken care of. Payment, banking should work. There's guidance that you can do monthly calls. I was just thinking, is it actually okay? So I've set on this idea for all one night, so I have no answers right now. I was just wondering,
Yeah.
is it labor intensive?
Well, I mean, all the heavy lifting is up front, right? To get it set up.
Yeah.
So I mean, this isn't that different. Like I'd come up with my partnership
Yes.
idea too, which is like I've already got all my infrastructure. I've got Kajabi. I've got my website. Blah blah blah. That Vadim, you want to start a holistic nutrition business? I'll partner with you. I'll set up your webpage. If you build courses, I'll host them. Whatever. It's not exactly the same, but it's somewhat similar.
Well, it's very close. It's just you casting the net wide, and I'm trying to like niche down.
Yeah.
But and I was thinking, how much are you paying for Kajabi a month?
$199 US.
$199 US.
Because I'm paying monthly. But if I go to pay annually, it goes down to $159.
$159. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I was thinking, because you could hypothetically, I haven't ran any of the numbers, so this is just, you could do a service for $99 a month. Now, there would be other subscriptions that would be required. But yeah, sorry. Crazy idea, has some merit.
Yeah, I think it has some merit. I think you just need to. I mean, it's kind of like when I talked to my real estate friend and he was talking about my real estate program, and he said what people want in terms of the clients is they want a turnkey solution. So it sounds like this is what you're offering. Like this is your turnkey. You want to start a holistic practice.
Yeah, you want to talk to clients. You want to.
All you have to do is,
Sign
pay
up.
me this amount of money,
Yep.
and you have an instant platform.
Yep.
You don't need to learn how to build a website. You don't need to learn about lead magnets. You don't need to learn about anything.
Yeah. You essentially do it for them.
You basically do it for them, and I suppose like the voice part, like you give them a starting point for content that they scrub and make their own,
Yeah.
and you'll upload it, and like everything just goes through you. Like they submit things to you. They don't. So you'll handle their scheduling, all their social media.
Correct. So it's almost like agency work, only it's not just focused on marketing, it's focused on running. So
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to figure out the economics of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, what's a break-even point in terms of your time and effort, notwithstanding all the subscriptions and whatever.
I also wouldn't imagine myself doing all of the work. Like I'm excited about let's say the web stuff, but
Yeah.
I would find somebody who's good at small business accounting, and then people just sign up, because I want to find out how much. I was looking into this last night. Like, how much would it cost a subscription for QuickBooks Online? Then nutritionists use betterpractice.com. It's the thing that manages your actual relationship with clients, like telehealth, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then there's a couple of other subscriptions you need, but you don't want that to be an exorbitant amount. What you said about $199, $159 US a month. That's 200, almost 200 Canadian.
Yeah.
You're happily paying them, but all you're getting is a platform, and then you need to do all of the work to make that platform work for you. Correct?
Yeah.
So it's not unreasonable to expect people to be willing to pay that amount of money. And then, yes, sure, people can say, oh, you know what, I'm just going to build my site on Squarespace. Squarespace is great, but you're still going to be out about $49 a month, and that's not content. That's just a page builder.
Yeah.
Man, so many ideas. I feel like I feel.
I mean, to me, it's like the pitch is almost, like, and I mean, you and I are going through this right now, and we probably, well, for sure, I didn't have any kind of plan for, okay, if I'm going to do this for 1 year,
Yeah.
this is how much it's going to cost me.
Yeah.
And even so, if I don't make a cent in terms of revenue,
Yeah. This is how much I need to invest.
I'm going to be out $5,000 or I don't know, whatever it is, where you can go to like a nutritionist and say, okay, you want to start your own practice? $5,000.
Yeah.
You're set for the first year.
Yeah. I know what I'm going to say next is just me convincing myself, so I apologize for that. But we went out for a walk on Friday, and I was talking to my wife. I said, so how's your business going?
Yeah.
Business. She's like, I'm completely stuck. I haven't done anything. It's not going anywhere. I was like, oh, okay. And just gently probing, because this is like, remember, this is a relationship, right? You don't want to ask a question you don't want to hear an answer to.
Yeah.
What's the problem? Well, I can't figure out my website. But they said the website is not a problem. I'll take care of the website, no problem. And you realize that if this isn't what I come to realize, if this is not your forte, you feel completely helpless and powerless to begin, because it's not that it's complicated. It's just that it's completely. Oh, an example. So my friend, he's a painter, among other things. One of his hobbies is painting. I wouldn't be able to paint a picture if my life depended on it. Maybe stickman, yeah, sure. But he paints wonderful scenery. But I don't even know where to begin. Anyway, I know I'm convincing myself. I know I haven't even finished the courses yet, and I'm already onto the next thing.
This is all part of the evolution in the process.
Oh, just as a matter of process. So we're at 32 minutes right now recording.
Yeah.
How do we want to play with this? Because this is our still. Do we let it go to how we usually do it? Run its course?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, let's face it, no one's going to watch it, at least initially.
Yeah, just you wait. Once you're like a big shot entrepreneur, this is going to be gold.
Come back to haunt me. Yeah, this is going to be 20 years from now. I'll get canceled because some comment I made that's politically incorrect back in 2021.
Hey, that's how the life works nowadays.
Exactly. What else was I going to say? No, I think it's a completely valid concept and idea.
Yeah.
On Kajabi, on the Facebook group, there's all kinds of people there's all kinds of people that post on there and say, help, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then all kinds of people reply and say, this is my business. Like, there's people whose Kajabi business is helping other people set up their Kajabi accounts, build their pages for them, set up all their automations, all their sequences. And the person who has the Kajabi account, they're just doing their courses, whether they're recorded or live or whatever they're doing.
Yep.
And they've got a tech person or a virtual assistant that does all the system work for them. I don't know what it costs, but anyway, if you want, I can maybe put a feeler out and find out what some of these things cost.
It would be interesting. They don't advertise it?
Well, not on that Facebook page, but I could find some of the folks on there and just DM them and say, what does your service cost? Of course, then I'm on their email list forever, but
you can always unsubscribe.
I know.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I'm having a call today. I don't know. I think at 10 a.m. with somebody found me on LinkedIn, pitched me about, hey, we're helping coaches, kind of like what you were saying, the
Yeah.
webinar. And I said, yeah, of course, yeah, because I'm also in the state of exploration. So I'm going to have a call with somebody in the UK at 10. And the one thing I have to say is it already,
Like a one-on-one call?
a one-on-one call, but it already feels salesy. Because
Yeah.
I already had a call to schedule this call, and that call was all 5 minutes, and a young gentleman was very polite and used the script that was in front of him to kind of, oh yeah, are you a good fit? Like we're about to say, it's like, why in the world would I need a screening call if you want to get me as a client? But I'm sure there's a reason for that. Maybe they're a big company and they. It's just the frustration I feel about that is that as a small business, as what you said, sometimes you just want to get your problem solved, and instead of getting your problem solved, all you get is the runaround of people. You know that people are trying to extract money from you, and that leaves. And I'm just wondering if I sound the same way in my materials.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we do. And that's the game, right? They're trying to do exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I know. It's just
Like,
when
I
you
mean that's I think one of the biggest hurdles in what you were just talking about is how do you convince somebody who has zero income and zero, I don't know, likelihood of immediate income to fork out money to go. Now it's like it's the paradox, right? Because you need money to start a business and you need a business to have money. So
it's true.
what do you do?
Yeah,
I mean, it's like you and I mean, we both know, like when you start, you're starting in the red, like on day one. If you don't like being in the red, don't start a business, because every single business, and like we've talked about this before, like Amazon was in the red to the millions or billions of dollars for a long time before they were successful. And just the question, how deep are your pockets? But
oh man, so many questions. But you're right. This is how do you get a person without any income to spend money, or at least convince them that you are the right person to spend money with?
Yeah.
Because that's the truth. As even me, I'm willing to spend money. I mean, I've signed up with Alyssa. She's doing. We'll see the results in terms of money coming in, but from what she needs to do, she's doing her job excellent right now.
I mean, when I thought about my partnership thing, the notion was it's going to be a minimal upfront cost, and then it would have been like rev share kind of stuff, like on courses or client, like basically as they build their business, you, instead of them paying you out of their pocket before they have any money, when they get money, you get a piece of their money. And it starts off, it's kind of similar to like our Pressing and blah blah rev share thing, where in the beginning it's a 90-10, and I don't know if obviously it's hard to convince somebody that big at the beginning, but as the money goes up, the percentage goes down, and eventually the person gets enough critical mass where they can say, okay, you got me to
this point, thank you very much.
Where I can break away and I can go do my own thing, and you say, yeah, I've done my job. My goal is to get you to this point.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting.
So I don't want money from you until you have money.
Oh, hold on. There's one problem.
Yeah.
Sorry, not a problem, but I see one challenge. That implies that you believe the person to be able to start making money. So with the example of Loblaw that you gave, it's a no-brainer. It's a big enterprise that makes money. So that's a given. But with a person who's starting up, because immediately I thought to myself, genius. That's exact. There's no risk. There's only upside, and you share in the upside.
Yeah.
But what if somebody decides, you know what, it didn't work out. I don't want to do it anymore. Quits.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You got to think through all the scenarios, but my first inclination there is, as part of the agreement, is there some kind of exit clause that says, if because you're absorbing upfront costs, they pay a small monthly fee or whatever.
Right.
It's managed.
Right.
And if they decide within the first 6 months that they're going to quit, they owe you $500. I don't know. Something. Now, whether you can collect on that or not, I don't know.
That terribly sounds like Rogers or Bell.
Yeah. But it's part of it is like, let's face like, and this is maybe where a coaching element comes into this whole play too, is like, I'm assuming you want to help people start their own business so that they can be successful.
Correct.
You're not helping them to start their business so they can check off their bucket list that I started my own business, but then it failed and I had to go back to my corporate job. So sometimes like, and I go back to, I mean, when I took this self-hypnosis course years ago, the guy who talked about, he did smoking cessation workshops. And he basically said, notwithstanding anything that you do, the number one thing to get people to quit smoking is you have to charge them a lot of money to join this thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that, yeah.
If it costs them a lot of money, then they're more invested in it. And they're like, I got to make this work because I just spent $2,500 on this clown to help me quit smoking. And if it was only $250, screw it. I need to smoke so bad I can smoke.
The cigarette is expensive, but I'm willing to absorb it.
Like, it was a direct correlation between the more you charge, the more successful people were at quitting. But so people have to have like, I'm going to quit. Well, but if I quit, I owe this guy money. I don't know how that, like, again, I don't know how you collect on that necessarily, but even just mentally them knowing that that's the case. Maybe it's like an insurance policy, right? There's like a diminishing deductible.
Yeah.
That your out clause is this, but the longer you stick around, eventually your out clause becomes zero.
Yeah. I was thinking, I mean, there's lots of, like, I need to finish my webinar first before I jump into these, because I thought I would have it done by now. It's not. Yeah. And also, because let's face it, we need to get back to actually doing work. I was thinking of doing chapters for these videos so people can jump to it, but now I'm looking at 42 minutes. I'm not gonna scrub this. If we're gonna do this, this has to be.
Yeah, this is not a make work project.
No, this is just
raw.
Exactly. So I'm going to include, you know what, I should have taken notes, the companies that we've mentioned, because right now, scrubbing, like going back, I'm just going to, what did you mention?
Look, we're going to refine this as we go.
I'm sure.
So episode 1, it's done. Just save it as it is, post it. And our lesson learned today is like, we need to make notes of,
if we mention something. Yeah. All right. Well, this is so many ideas. It's just a matter of them.
Do you know from the captions that are being put here?
Oh crap! Captions.
No, but these captions are on the screen. They're recorded, right?
Yeah. If I turned them on, they would have been on the screen.
I turned them on my end. Sorry.
Yeah, but you're not recording it.
I know.
Okay, episode 1. For episode number 2, Vadim doesn't forget to turn on captions. Okay.
Yeah. So make a little checklist for yourself there.
Yeah. See?
And then my other question on captions was, can you
transcribe them?
Yeah. Can you get a transcription of the captions?
No, because we're recording the screen. It's not Google.
No, I know.
It's not Google Meet recording this.
I know. Okay.
Hold on. So remind me tomorrow. I'll tell you about a software that, if only I can find it. Damn it. I'm pretty sure I made a bookmark. So that software does exactly that. It's you know how you have note takers in meetings?
Yeah.
So that software basically records your voice and transcribes it into minutes.
Okay.
If it's free, we can use it here. So then we can have a whole text in Google, in YouTube.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if in Google, if there's anything native that, like, it's typing everything out here. Is it saving it somewhere that you can access?
I'm,
Probably
I'm,
not.
I'm sure it might be. If anyone,
Like I'm sure it's already sending the transcript directly to
of course,
Google headquarters.
yeah. Oh, there's whiteboard actually. Settings,
All
audio,
right, we'll figure.
video. No. No, I'm not seeing it. I mean, that would be a premium feature.
Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot to turn captions on. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, Word does dictation and stuff. I wonder if we set it up to listen to our conversation.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. All right, we'll figure that out.
It's actually a good idea. Well, episode 1 was not that bad, but certainly a blunder. Remind me to turn captions on tomorrow.
All right.
All right. Okay, Greg. See you.
All right.
Bye,
Take
buddy.
care.